So, you probably think of war as something you see in history books, right? Flags on a map, old generals pointing at things. But what if I told you that's not even half the story? The real history of human violence is, well, a whole lot weirder and way more brutal than you can imagine.
The story of combat isn't about getting better at strategy. It's about a 10,000-year-long arms race to see who can come up with the most creative, most efficient, and most horrifying way to, well, delete another human. And trust me, it starts dark and only gets darker. All right, let's start at the beginning, the Stone Age. We've got this picture in our heads of peaceful cavemen, maybe having a little turf war with a neighboring tribe. But let's be honest. Does anyone really think that humans, who have spent all of recorded history being absolutely horrible to each other, were just chilling before they figured out how to write stuff down? Yeah, I'm not buying it either.
So think about it. You settle down, you start farming, and suddenly, that patch of land over there looks pretty good. What happens next? This isn't just some hypothetical. We have the receipts. And they are grim.
34. That's the number of bodies they found in a single pit in Germany from 5000 BC. They call it the Talheim Death Pit. And let me be clear, this wasn't a battle, this was a straight-up execution. We're talking men, women, and kids, all killed by a blow to the back of the head. And this is what they used. Not some fancy sword, a flat wooden club. Basically a big, heavy paddle, designed to do one thing, crush a skull. But here's the most chilling part. Archaeologists noticed that almost no adult women were found in the pit. The terrifying theory? They were taken as spoils of war. This was up close, personal, and absolutely savage.
And you'd think as humans got smarter, more civilized, things would get better, right? Nope. The killing just got more organized and a whole lot more efficient.
Okay, let's jump ahead to the Bronze Age. This is where we get cities, civilizations, the whole shebang. And what happens when you cram a bunch of people together with shiny new things? They start fighting over those things. But now it's on a scale humanity had never seen before.
And the reasons they fought were basically the Minecraft basics. You needed land for your crops, valuable metals for tools and cash, water to not die, and trade routes to get rich. If your neighbor had what you wanted, well, organized violence suddenly started looking like a pretty good business plan.
But here's a massive curveball from the Bronze Age. You'd think everyone was running around with bronze swords and shields, right? Not so fast. See, bronze was super expensive, and for something like an arrowhead, which you're probably going to lose anyway, it was actually duller than good old-fashioned sharpened obsidian or bone. So yeah, for a long time, the most advanced armies were still slinging rocks and bones at each other.
But they did invent one thing that changed everything, the chariot. And let's be real, the first chariot was basically the world's first car. It was probably rickety, slow, and a nightmare to steer, but it was revolutionary. It was a mobile platform to shoot arrows from, and if the other guy was on foot, you had a massive advantage.
All right, now we hit the Iron Age, and this is where things get really, really grim. Stronger metal obviously means better weapons and armor, but you know what else it means? Stronger walls. And this unlocked a whole new level of human misery, siege warfare. Imagine you're inside your city, behind these huge stone walls. You feel safe, right? Secure. Wrong. You're not in a fortress. You're in a cage. You are in a waiting room for death, and every single day that goes by, your odds of making it out alive just plummet.
Because the guys on the outside, they have a playbook. They can build towers to go over your walls. They can use rams to smash through your gates. They can dig tunnels to get under your defenses. But their best weapon, their most terrifying weapon, was just waiting. They cut off your food, your water, and they just waited for you to starve to death. It's a special kind of hell.
Okay, next up, the medieval era. And look, if you get your history from movies, I need you to forget everything you think you know. All those chaotic battles with heroes having epic one-on-one duels in the middle of a mosh pit, yeah, that's complete fantasy.
The reality was way more disciplined, and honestly, way more terrifying. It was all about the shield wall. You stood shoulder to shoulder, locked in with the guys next to you. Because the second that line broke, it was over. Everyone died. Your personal skill with the sword meant almost nothing. It was all about holding that line.
And the weapons were designed for exactly this kind of brutal, close-quarters work. Take the Morning Star. It's not a finesse weapon. It's a big, spiky ball of iron on a chain. Its only job was to take a knight in his $1,000 plate armor and crush him like an empty soda can.
Okay,
Let's jump forward again, because one single invention completely rewrote the rules. Gunpowder. All of a sudden, your fancy armor was useless. Getting into a shield wall was a death sentence. The only thing that mattered anymore was who could kill from the farthest away.
And this led to tactics like pike and shot. It's basically the 1600s version of spawn camping in a video game. You had a line of guys with muskets just firing volley after volley, and in front of them a wall of dudes with giant pikes to stop any cavalry charge. It was simple, it was ugly, and it was devastatingly effective.
And remember those sieges? They got even worse. Now, you have cannons that can just sit there for months, turning city walls into dust. For the civilians trapped inside, the menu was grim. You ate rats, you ate horses, you ate your own dogs. Entire cities were literally starved into submission. Which brings us to the modern era, from World War II all the way to today. The reasons for war have changed again. Now it's about resources, data, ideology, but more importantly, the battlefields themselves have completely transformed. It's not just about a piece of land anymore. So now, war is fought in every domain. You have land, sea, and air, obviously, but now, in 2026, you absolutely have to add drones and the digital world to that list. A single cyber attack that takes down a power grid can cause as much chaos and damage as a bombing campaign. You have to fight everywhere, all at once.
And this is what's so wild about modern warfare. A multi-million-dollar main battle tank, the symbol of military power for a century, can be knocked out by one person sitting safely miles away flying a cheap drone with a joystick. The entire game has been turned on its head.
So that leaves us with one final, kind of chilling question. The core of war, one group trying to impose its will on another, never really changes. But the battlefields are constantly expanding. If war is now fought on land, at sea, in the air, and online, where's the next battlefield? If you want to see how money itself has evolved alongside all of this, check out the explainer on your screen. And hey, make sure you subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.